Welcome to the channel. Here, we honor the legendary figures we've lost, but whose legacies continue to inspire us every day. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the bell so you never miss a tribute. Stick around till the end, we promise there's always something meaningful waiting for you. Peter John Sinfield, born on December 27, 1943, in Fulham, London, was an English poet, lyricist, and songwriter, best known as a founding member and lyricist of the progressive rock band King Crimson. Sinfield's work and influence in the music industry were immense, particularly through his contributions to progressive rock and his later ventures into pop songwriting. His lyrics, characterized by surreal imagery and themes of fantasy, nature, and emotional depth, remain iconic in the world of music. He passed away on November 14, 2024, at the age of 80, leaving behind a rich legacy of creativity and artistic expression. Sinfield's early years were marked by an eclectic and unconventional upbringing. He was born to a mother of Irish-English descent, Deirdre, known as Joey or Daphne, and an absent father, Ian. His mother's bohemian lifestyle greatly influenced him, fostering an environment rich in art and creativity. For much of his childhood, Sinfield was raised by Maria Wallenda, a German housekeeper from the famous Flying Wallenda's circus act. This unique upbringing shaped his vivid imagination and early fascination with words and poetry. Sinfield attended Daneshill School in Oxshott and later Ranelagh Grammar School in Bracknell, where he discovered his love for literature and poetry under the mentorship of his tutor, John Mawson. However, he left school at 16, briefly working as a travel agent, hoping it would allow him to explore the world. Sinfield's career trajectory was as unconventional as his upbringing. After dabbling in various jobs, including working for a computer company and selling handmade goods on market stalls, he pursued his passion for poetry and music. By the mid-1960s, he was performing as a singer-guitarist in a band he formed called The Creation, which he envisioned as a blend of Donovan's introspective folk and The Who's dynamic rock energy. His early experiences as a musician and poet laid the groundwork for his entry into the progressive rock scene. In 1968, Sinfield's friend Ian MacDonald introduced him to Giles, and Fripp, a progressive pop trio that would soon evolve into King Crimson. Sinfield became the band's lyricist and conceptual visionary, contributing not only lyrics but also ideas for the band's image, album artwork, and live performances. He coined the name King Crimson, reflecting the band's ambitious and somewhat ominous artistic direction. Their debut album, In the Court of the Crimson King, released in 1969, is widely regarded as a cornerstone of progressive rock. Sinfield's lyrics on this album, such as those for Epitaph and The Court of the Crimson King, were praised for their rich imagery and philosophical undertones. As King Crimson evolved musically, the relationship between Sinfield and Robert Fripp, the band's guitarist and leader, grew strained. Sinfield's departure from the band in 1972 marked the end of an era for King Crimson. However, it opened new avenues for Sinfield, who collaborated with other artists and pursued a solo career. He worked with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, ELP, providing lyrics for songs like I Believe in Father Christmas and C'est la vie. His work with ELP showcased his ability to adapt his lyrical style to suit the band's grandiose and theatrical music. Sinfield's solo album, Still, released in 1973, further demonstrated his versatility as a songwriter and musician. The album featured contributions from various prominent musicians, including Greg Lake and John Wetton, and reflected Sinfield's poetic sensibilities. Although Still was not a commercial success, it remains a cult favorite among progressive rock fans. In the late 1970s and 1980s, Sinfield shifted his focus to pop music, a transition that highlighted his adaptability as a lyricist. Teaming up with composer Andy Hill, he co-wrote several chart-topping hits, including The Land of Make-Believe by Bucks Fizz and Think Twice by Celine Dion, which won an Ivor Novello Award for Best Song musically and lyrically. Sinfield's ability to craft emotionally resonant lyrics allowed him to thrive in the pop music landscape, even as progressive rock's popularity waned. Despite his success in the music industry, Sinfield's creative pursuits extended beyond songwriting. He wrote poetry and experimented with different forms of artistic expression throughout his life. His book Under the Sky, a collection of lyrics and poems, offered insight into his creative mind. Sinfield was also active in the literary and artistic communities, participating in events like the Genoa Poetry Festival and publishing haiku during his later years. Sinfield's personal life was as colorful as his professional career. His first marriage to Stephanie ended in divorce, and he later married a Spanish model, whom he met during his time in Ibiza. His years in Ibiza and Majorca were marked by a lifestyle of reflection, creativity, and connections with other artists. However, financial challenges and health issues, including a quadruple bypass surgery in 2005, occasionally disrupted his career. Throughout his life, Sinfield remained deeply influenced by literature and the arts. He cited writers such as William Blake, Arthur Rimbaud, and Edith Sitwell as inspirations, and his lyrics often drew from their themes of mysticism, nature, and existential inquiry. Musically, he admired Bob Dylan and Donovan, whose storytelling and poetic lyrics resonated with him and inspired his own songwriting. Sinfield's legacy is multifaceted. As a lyricist for King Crimson, he helped define the sound and spirit of progressive rock, influencing countless bands and musicians. His work with ELP and pop artists demonstrated his ability to adapt his style to different genres and audiences. Beyond music, his poetry and artistic contributions enriched the broader cultural landscape. In his later years, Sinfield lived in Aldeburgh, Suffolk, where he remained active in the songwriting community and continued to create poetry. His death in 2024 marked the end of a remarkable life, but his influence and artistry endure. Whether through the haunting lyrics of King Crimson, the anthems he co-wrote for pop icons, or his introspective poetry, Peter Sinfield left an indelible mark on the world of music and art. Shel Talmy, August 11, 1937 to November 13, 2024, was an American record producer, songwriter, and arranger whose pioneering work in the 1960s left an indelible mark on rock and popular music. Best known for his collaborations with iconic British bands such as the Kinks, The Who, and the Easy Beats, Talmy introduced innovative production techniques that defined an era and inspired generations of musicians and producers. His legacy includes some of rock's most timeless anthems, including You Really Got Me, by the Kinks, My Generation, by The Who, and Friday on My Mind, by the Easy Beats. Talmy's meticulous attention to detail and ability to enhance an artist's sound without overshadowing it set him apart as one of the most influential figures in music production. Talmy was born in Chicago, Illinois, to Esther Gutes and Isaac Talmy, a dentist. From an early age, he demonstrated a strong interest in both music and technology, gravitating toward early rock and roll, rhythm and blues, folk, and country music. His fascination with sound and recording began during his teenage years, further nurtured by an innate curiosity and a creative spirit. At the age of 13, Talmy showcased his intellectual prowess as a regular participant on the popular NBC television show Quiz Kids. Reflecting on this experience later, Talmy credited it with solidifying his determination to work in the entertainment industry after graduating from Fairfax High School in Los Angeles in 1955, where he shared the alma mater with notable figures like Jerry Leiber, Herb Alpert, and Phil Spector. Talmy began working in television. However, his career trajectory shifted when he joined Conway Studios in Los Angeles as a recording engineer. Mentored by Phil Yeend, Talmy quickly mastered the intricacies of 3-track recording equipment, which was cutting-edge technology at the time. Within days of starting his new role, Talmy produced his first record, Falling Star, by Debbie Sharon. His work at Conway Studios saw him collaborating with prominent figures such as Gary Paxton, Renee Hall, and members of the legendary Wrecking Crew, laying the groundwork for his future innovations in production. Talmy's approach to recording was characterized by experimentation and a relentless pursuit of sonic clarity. He and Yeend often devised custom solutions to improve the separation and balance of instruments in recordings, pioneering techniques such as using multiple microphones for drums, a practice that would later become standard in the industry. These early experiments with sound would prove invaluable when Tommy transitioned to the British music scene. In 1962, Tommy traveled to Britain ostensibly for a short vacation, but ended up staying much longer after securing a position at Decca Records. Armed with acetates of American recordings provided by his friend Nick Vennett at Capitol Records, Tommy presented himself as an experienced producer, impressing Decca's A&R head, Dick Rowe. Tommy quickly established himself as an independent producer, one of the first in the UK, and began working with various artists under the Decca label. It was during this time that Tommy discovered and shaped the sound of several groundbreaking bands. He produced the Kinks' third single, You Really Got Me, which became a defining moment in rock history, blending raw energy with an innovative use of distorted guitar tones. Despite persistent rumors, Tommy clarified in later interviews that the iconic guitar solo on the track was played by Dave Davies, not session guitarist Jimmy Page, who contributed rhythm guitar to the recording. Tommy's work with the Kinks yielded numerous hits, including All Day and All of the Night, Tired of Waiting for You, and Sunny Afternoon, solidifying the band's place in rock history. Another major milestone in Tommy's career was his collaboration with The Who. Impressed by the band's raw power and Pete Townshend's songwriting, Tommy produced their early singles, including I Can't Explain and the anthemic My Generation. The latter, with its rebellious lyrics and groundbreaking use of feedback, became a quintessential rock anthem. Tommy also produced The Who's debut album, My Generation, which showcased the band's explosive energy and innovative approach to music. Despite the success of their collaboration, a contractual dispute with The Who's management led to a contentious split. Tommy retained the master tapes for My Generation, which delayed its reissue until 2002, when a settlement was finally reached. Beyond the Kinks and The Who, Tommy worked with a wide range of artists, including David Bowie, then known as Davy Jones, for whom he produced early singles like I Pity the Fool and You've Got a Habit of Leaving. He also produced the global hit Friday on My Mind by Australian band The Easy Beats, a song later covered by Bowie. Tommy's diverse portfolio extended to acts like Pentangle, Roy Harper, and Amen Corner, showcasing his versatility across genres ranging from rock and folk to pop and psychedelia. Tommy's production style was characterized by a hands-on approach, emphasizing collaboration with artists to refine their material and arrangements. He prioritized capturing the essence of a band's live performance while enhancing it with polished production techniques. His innovative use of microphone placement, multi-track recording, and creative mixing strategies set new standards in the industry. Tommy's insistence on isolating instruments and using unconventional techniques often challenged prevailing norms, earning him a reputation as a trailblazer. In addition to his work in the 1960s, Tommy continued to influence music production in subsequent decades. He produced albums for American artists like Lee Hazelwood and Tim Rose and collaborated with punk pioneers The Damned in the 1970s. After returning to the United States in 1979, Tommy maintained a selective but impactful presence in the music industry, producing records for bands like the Fuzztones and Hidden Charms. His contributions to the craft of music production were celebrated in the 2003 radio tribute on Little Steven's Underground Garage and through a series of compilations released by Ace Records in 2017. Tommy's personal life was as rich and multifaceted as his career. He was the elder brother of renowned linguist Leonard Tommy and a devoted father to his twins, Jonna and Stephen. Despite the challenges of declining eyesight, which influenced his early career decisions, Tommy's resilience and creativity remained undiminished. His death on November 13, 2024, from complications of a stroke, marked the end of an extraordinary life dedicated to the art of sound. He was 87. Tommy's enduring influence on music production and his role in shaping the sound of the British invasion remain monumental. His innovative techniques, combined with an unwavering commitment to artistic integrity, continue to inspire musicians and producers around the world. Samuel David Moore, born on October 12, 1935, in Miami, Florida, stands as one of the most iconic figures in the history of American soul and R&B music. His career, marked by extraordinary talent, groundbreaking achievements, and personal resilience, spans over 6 decades and has left an indelible imprint on the world of music. As one half of the legendary duo Sam and Dave, Moore's electrifying performances and powerful tenor voice earned him a place in the pantheon of musical greats. Beyond his duo's success, Moore's solo career and dedication to advocating for artists' rights further cemented his legacy as a trailblazer and leader in the industry. A member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Grammy Hall of Fame, the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, and the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame, Moore's influence reaches far beyond his recordings, resonating with audiences and fellow artists alike. Samuel Moore's musical roots were deeply planted in gospel traditions, which played a critical role in shaping his vocal style and artistic identity. Raised in Miami, he grew up in a household where faith and music were central, and his early exposure to gospel singing laid the foundation for his dynamic and emotive delivery. This training in gospel provided him with the tools to convey deep emotion and energy, qualities that would define his performances throughout his career. Moore's journey towards stardom began with a fateful meeting in 1961 at the King of Hearts Club in Miami, where he encountered Dave Prater, a fellow gospel singer. This meeting, orchestrated by producer Henry Stone, led to the formation of Sam and Dave, a duo that would go on to revolutionize the sound of soul music. Initially signed to Roulette Records, the duo released a handful of singles but achieved only modest success. It wasn't until their move to Atlantic Records in 1964, and subsequently their association with Stax Records, that their careers truly took off. At Stax, they were paired with the prolific songwriting team of Isaac Hayes and David Porter, whose compositions became the bedrock of Sam and Dave's success. Sam and Dave's string of hits in the mid to late 1960s, including classics like Hold On, I'm Comin', Soul Man, When Something Is Wrong With My Baby, and I Thank You, showcased their unmatched chemistry and energy. These songs became anthems of the era, capturing the spirit of a generation and serving as a bridge between musical traditions and cultural divides. Soul Man, in particular, achieved monumental success, earning the duo a Grammy Award and becoming one of the most recognized songs of the 20th century. The track's powerful message of resilience and pride resonated deeply during the civil rights movement, further solidifying Sam and Dave's place in the annals of American music history. What set Sam and Dave apart was their electrifying live performances, often described as a soul explosion. Backed by the legendary Booker T and the MGs and the Memphis Horns, the duo delivered shows that were both visceral and unforgettable. Moore's soaring, impassioned tenor complemented Prater's gritty baritone, creating a dynamic interplay that left audiences spellbound. Critics and fans alike hailed them as one of the greatest live acts of their time, with performances that transcended the boundaries of race and culture in a segregated America. Behind the scenes, however, the partnership between Sam Moore and Dave Prater was far from harmonious. Their relationship was marked by frequent conflicts and personal differences, which often threatened to overshadow their musical accomplishments. Despite their tensions, their professional collaboration remained a testament to their shared commitment to the music they created. However, the pressures of fame, combined with personal struggles, eventually led to the duo's breakup in 1970. Although they reunited sporadically in subsequent years, their partnership was irreparably fractured, culminating with Prater's tragic death in a car accident in 1988. Following the dissolution of Sam and Dave, Moore faced significant challenges as he embarked on a solo career. His initial efforts to establish himself as a solo artist included forming a new group, Sam's Soul Together 1970 Review, and recording singles for Atlantic Records. Tragically, plans for a solo album with producer King Curtis were cut short by Curtis's untimely death. Moore also grappled with personal struggles, including a battle with drug addiction, which derailed his career for a time. Despite these setbacks, Moore demonstrated remarkable resilience, crediting his wife, Joyce McCrae, for helping him turn his life around. McCrae became a pivotal figure in Moore's resurgence, serving as his manager and advocate and guiding him back to prominence in the music industry. The 1980s marked a period of rebirth for Moore, as he began collaborating with a diverse array of artists and re-establishing his presence on the global stage. Highlights from this era included a duet with Lou Reed on a re-recording of Soul Man for the film of the same name and his performances with the Elwood Blues Revue alongside Dan Aykroyd and the Blues Brothers Band. Moore also ventured into acting, starring alongside Junior Walker in the cult film Tapeheads, and made guest appearances on numerous television shows and music specials. These endeavors showcased Moore's versatility and enduring appeal, affirming his status as a musical icon. The 1990s and early 2000s brought new opportunities for Moore to shine as a solo artist. His collaborations with luminaries such as Bruce Springsteen, Phil Collins, and Elton John highlighted his ability to connect with audiences across generations and genres. In 1992, Moore was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame alongside Dave Prater, a milestone that celebrated their groundbreaking contributions to music. That same year, Moore announced plans for a solo album that would feature duets with a roster of acclaimed artists, further showcasing his adaptability and relevance. In 2006, Moore released Overnight Sensational, an album produced by Randy Jackson that featured collaborations with a star-studded lineup, including Sting, Eric Clapton, and John Bon Jovi. The album received critical acclaim and served as a testament to Moore's enduring artistry and influence. Beyond his musical achievements, Moore became a passionate advocate for artists' rights, using his platform to address issues such as fair compensation and copyright protection. His testimony before Congress and efforts to raise awareness about the challenges facing musicians underscored his commitment to supporting his fellow artists. Moore's advocacy, coupled with his openness about overcoming addiction, inspired countless individuals within and beyond the music community. In the later years of his career, Moore continued to captivate audiences with his performances and recordings. He appeared at high-profile events, including President Donald Trump's inaugural concert in 2017, and collaborated with Bruce Springsteen on the 2022 soul cover album Only the Strong Survive. Moore also lent his voice to various benefit concerts and tribute events, reaffirming his dedication to using music as a force for good. His final public appearances, including tributes to George Jones and Martin Luther King Jr., reflected his deep connection to American music and history. Samuel David Moore passed away on January 10, 2025, at the age of 89, following surgery in Coral Gables, Florida. His death marked the end of an extraordinary life and career, but his legacy endures through the timeless music he created and the countless lives he touched. From his humble beginnings as a gospel singer in Miami to his rise as a soul music legend, Moore's journey is a testament to the transformative power of music, resilience, and the human spirit. His contributions as a member of Sam and Dave, a solo artist, and an advocate for artists' rights have left an indelible mark on the music industry and continue to inspire new generations of musicians and fans. Samuel David Moore's story is one of triumph, dedication, and an unwavering love for music that will resonate for decades to come. Charles Michael Brewer, known for his musical contributions as one half of the duo Brewer and Shipley, left a lasting legacy in the world of American folk rock. Born on April 14, 1944, Brewer's life was steeped in music, creativity, and a pioneering spirit that defined the 1960s and 1970s countercultural movement. His passing on December 17, 2024, at the age of 80, marks the end of an era, but his music continues to resonate with audiences around the world. Brewer's journey into music began in his early years, growing up in a post-war America where the folk and rock genres were beginning to take root. His natural talent for songwriting and performance quickly set him apart, and by the mid-1960s, he was making his mark on the Los Angeles music scene. In early 1966, Brewer teamed up with singer-songwriter Tom Maston to form the duo Maston and Brewer. Their collaboration, though brief, was significant in shaping Brewer's musical style. The duo gained early traction, performing alongside notable acts like the Byrds and Buffalo Springfield, two of the most influential bands of the era. The group Maston and Brewer had a promising lineup for live performances, with drummer Billy Mundy and bass guitarist Jim Fielder joining their ranks. These musicians would go on to achieve their own acclaim in bands like the Mothers of Invention and Blood, Sweat and Tears. However, internal dynamics shifted when Tom Maston left the group during album sessions, prompting Brewer to enlist his brother Keith. Together, they recorded a single for Columbia Records, Need You, backed by Rainbow, a song co-written by Maston and Brewer. Although the project didn't achieve commercial success, it set the stage for Brewer's future endeavors. A pivotal moment in Brewer's career came when he reconnected with his old friend Tom Shipley. The two shared a deep musical synergy, and their partnership resulted in the formation of Brewer and Shipley. As a duo, they embraced the folk rock ethos of the time, blending harmonized vocals with socially conscious lyrics. Their music was a reflection of the counterculture, addressing themes of love, freedom, and resistance to the status quo. Brewer and Shipley gained widespread recognition with the release of their third album, Tarkio, in 1970. The album included their most famous song, One Toke Over the Line, a track that would become an emblem of the era. The song's catchy melody and tongue-in-cheek commentary on marijuana use resonated with audiences, propelling it to number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1971. Despite its controversial subject matter, One Toke Over the Line became a pop hit and was even performed on The Lawrence Welk Show, albeit in a more sanitized form. The success of One Toke Over the Line solidified Brewer and Shipley's place in the folk rock canon, but their body of work extended far beyond that single hit. Their albums were rich with storytelling, intricate guitar work, and a profound sense of connection to the cultural movements of their time. The duo toured extensively, captivating audiences with their authentic sound and engaging stage presence. In addition to his work with Brewer and Shipley, Brewer pursued solo projects that showcased his versatility as a musician. One notable endeavor was his 1983 solo LP, Beauty Lies, produced by Dan Fogelberg. While the album was a departure from the duo's style, it demonstrated Brewer's ability to adapt and experiment with different musical influences. Unfortunately, Beauty Lies has never been released on CD, making it a rare gem for dedicated fans and collectors. Brewer's later years were characterized by a quieter life near Branson, Missouri, where he continued to be involved in music and cherished his connection to the natural world. His contributions to American music were recognized not only by his fans but also by his peers, who admired his authenticity and commitment to his craft. Charles Michael Brewer's legacy is one of innovation and resilience. His work, both as a solo artist and as part of Brewer and Shipley, captured the spirit of a generation seeking change and self-expression. His music remains a testament to the power of creativity and the enduring appeal of storytelling through song. As fans reflect on his life and career, Brewer's melodies and lyrics continue to inspire, reminding us of a time when music was a driving force for social and personal transformation. John Travolta is an iconic figure in the world of entertainment, a man whose career spans over 5 decades and whose influence has touched generations of filmgoers. Born on February 18, 1954, in Englewood, New Jersey, Travolta grew up in a household that nurtured his love for performance. His mother, Helen Cecilia Burke, was a drama teacher and actress, and his father, Salvatore Travolta, was a semi-professional football player and tire salesman. Young John was the youngest of 6 children, all of whom inherited a love for the arts. With this foundation, Travolta began his journey to stardom, overcoming obstacles and reinventing himself multiple times along the way. Travolta's early years were marked by a deep fascination with acting, music, and dance. After leaving Dwight Morrow High School at age 16, he pursued his dreams by moving to New York City. There, he studied acting while performing in local theater productions and commercials. His breakthrough came when he landed a role in the touring company of the Broadway musical Grease. This experience not only honed his skills but also foreshadowed the pivotal role he would later play in the film adaptation of the same musical. Travolta's first taste of fame came with his role as Vinnie Barbarino on the television sitcom Welcome Back, Kotter, which aired from 1975 to 1979. The show was a major success, and Travolta's portrayal of the charismatic yet clueless high school student quickly made him a household name. Around the same time, his music career took off with the release of the single, Let Her In, which became a Billboard Top 10 hit. However, it was his transition to film that would cement his status as a global superstar. In 1977, Travolta starred in Saturday Night Fever, a cultural phenomenon that catapulted him to superstardom. His portrayal of Tony Manero, a working-class Brooklynite who finds escape and meaning through disco dancing, resonated with audiences worldwide. Travolta's electrifying dance moves and his ability to convey vulnerability and swagger in equal measure made the film an instant classic. The soundtrack, featuring hits by the Bee Gees, became one of the best-selling albums of all time, and Travolta earned his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. The film not only defined an era but also established Travolta as a symbol of youthful energy in rebellion. Just a year later, in 1978, Travolta starred opposite Olivia Newton-John in Grease, another cultural milestone. As Danny Zuko, the suave leader of the T-Birds, Travolta charmed audiences with his charisma, comedic timing, and impressive singing and dancing. The film became the highest-grossing musical of its time and remains one of the most beloved movies in cinematic history. Songs like Summer Nights and You're the One That I Want have endured as timeless classics, and Travolta's performance solidified his place as one of Hollywood's leading men. However, the early 1980s brought a series of challenges for Travolta. Following the massive success of Saturday Night Fever and Grease, he struggled to find roles that matched his earlier triumphs. Films like Moment by Moment, 1978, and Two of a Kind, 1983, were critical and commercial failures, leading some to question whether Travolta's star had begun to fade. During this period, he also turned down several opportunities that could have further boosted his career, including the lead role in American Gigolo, which eventually went to Richard Gere. Travolta's fortunes changed dramatically in 1989 with the release of Look Who's Talking, a romantic comedy co-starring Kirstie Alley. The film, centered around a talking baby voiced by Bruce Willis, was a surprise box office hit and revitalized Travolta's career. It spawned two sequels, Look Who's Talking 2, 1990, and Look Who's Talking Now, 1993, which, while less successful, kept Travolta in the public eye. The true turning point in Travolta's career came in 1994 when he starred in Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. As Vincent Vega, a hitman with a penchant for milkshakes and awkward dance moves, Travolta delivered a performance that was both nuanced and iconic. The film was a critical and commercial success, earning Travolta his second Academy Award nomination and firmly re-establishing him as one of Hollywood's most versatile actors. The role showcased Travolta's ability to reinvent himself, combining elements of humor, menace, and vulnerability in a way that resonated with audiences and critics alike. Following the success of Pulp Fiction, Travolta enjoyed a series of high-profile roles in the mid-1990s. He starred in action films like Broken Arrow, 1996, and Face/Off, 1997, the latter of which paired him with Nicolas Cage in a wildly entertaining display of over-the-top acting. He also appeared in dramas like Phenomenon, 1996, and Michael, 1996, demonstrating his range as an actor. Travolta's ability to transition between genres and his willingness to take risks contributed to his sustained success during this period. However, Travolta's career has not been without its share of missteps. His passion project Battlefield Earth, 2000, based on the novel by L. Ron Hubbard, was widely panned by critics and became a notorious box office failure. Despite this setback, Travolta remained undeterred, continuing to take on diverse roles in films such as Ladder 49, 2004, Hairspray, 2007, and Savages, 2012. In Hairspray, Travolta delivered a memorable performance as Edna Turnblad, a role that required him to embrace a comedic and musical challenge while performing in full drag. Beyond his acting career, Travolta has pursued a variety of interests and passions. A licensed pilot, he owns several aircraft and has often spoken about his love for aviation. He has also been a prominent member of the Church of Scientology, a connection that has occasionally sparked controversy but has remained a central part of his life. Travolta's personal life has been marked by both joy and tragedy. In 1991, he married actress Kelly Preston, with whom he had 3 children, Jet, Ella Blue, and Benjamin. The couple faced immense heartbreak in 2009 when their eldest son, Jet, passed away at the age of 16 due to a seizure. Travolta and Preston openly discussed their grief, and Travolta credited Scientology with helping him cope during this difficult time. In 2020, Preston died after a private battle with breast cancer, leaving Travolta and his children to navigate life without her. Despite these challenges, Travolta has remained resilient, continuing to act and engage with his fans. In recent years, he has embraced social media platforms like Instagram, where he shares glimpses of his life, family, and career milestones. This openness has endeared him to a new generation of fans, further cementing his status as a beloved figure in popular culture. Travolta's enduring appeal lies in his ability to adapt, his charismatic presence, and his genuine love for performance. From the disco dance floors of Saturday Night Fever to the retro charm of Grease and the gritty underworld of Pulp Fiction, Travolta has left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. His career is a testament to the power of reinvention, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of artistic excellence. Whether dazzling audiences with his dance moves or captivating them with his acting, John Travolta remains a true icon of Hollywood. Thank you for watching. We hope this tribute helped keep the memory of these legends alive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories. Until next time, take care and keep their legacies in your heart.